Hello and welcome to Teaching My Cat to Read, the very serious book review podcast. I'm Eli.
I'm Em.
I'm Ro.
And I'm Lottie. And this week we're discussing everything about us. It's our Q&A episode.
I like that it's like everything about us, like everything. You're going to get our full, we're going to get our medical histories.
We're going to start from birth, and we're going to run through from there. So it was a long day in June. And
we have many questions. We have some. We also want to do some shout outs from recommendations that we've been emailed in. We have many questions that we have compiled on our glorious Google Doc of question lists. And
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know, why do we think our darling dear Gothmog has not yet learned to read? Are we doing something wrong? Do we need to pick different books? Are we bad teachers?
I think she's just dyslexic.
I think she's stubborn. I think she's looked at us and she's looked at all of the people she knows who knows how to read, which is us, and looked at us and gone, I don't want to live like them. They have to think about like taxes.
If you can read, the government will come for you and make you pay taxes.
Exactly.
And also you have to have a job now.
Like, why would she want to
all
learn?
that reading confers upon you.
You have to contribute to capitalism.
So I guess the question that I'm raising is it cruel of us to try and teach our cat to read?
That is a very good question.
Is it like, you know, that one joke about the Christian missionary who goes to, I think it's somewhere in the Arctic, and he's talking to like an Inuk person, and he is sort of saying like, oh, you know, now that you know about Jesus Christ, you can, you know, you won't go to hell because you can believe in Jesus Christ, and the Inuk person says, if I had lived my entire life never knowing, then what would have happened?
Yeah.
And the Christian guy goes, oh, well, you would have gone to heaven. It's like, so why did you tell me?
One of my favourite reactions to that sort of thing of all time, basically. Yeah, stop telling people. Yeah. Stop it.
I think she likes to listen to us discuss about books, because then she doesn't have to read the book.
This is a good point.
But then feels like she has had knowledge imparted on her.
She's contributed by sitting there and looking pretty.
Yeah, exactly. If ever asked the question, have you read Frankenstein? She can be like, yes, I have. And here's 6 reasons why Frankenstein is the actual monster.
Here's a long list of reasons why we hate Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah. Okay, here's a good question. What is our favourite book from this series, and what is our least favourite book from this series?
I'm going to go in with my least favourite being probably Jane Eyre, just because it was sad and not for me. Yeah.
That's fair.
Like, that's kind of a default choice.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I read them, but I think Mansfield Park I just really didn't get on with when I read it a while back. Yeah.
I think it's one that it's not one of her, like,
it's not a real
most
banger,
accessible.
You know? Yeah.
It's not a banger.
I think it's disappointing to get to as like the last one, because you're like, oh, those were great, and, and then this one you're like, oh yes, this is why it's the one that people don't read. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally see that. I got a lot more affection from it on this reread, but I don't disagree.
Okay, so I think I've got two, because I think I've got one, like, what I have no intention of rereading, which would be Jane Eyre, because it was too miserable. And then one I want to reread, and so not because I didn't like it, but just I was deeply confused, which would be Harrow. I think I really liked it, but I need to reread it so I can actually enjoy it, so it can go to the top of my list, if that makes sense.
That's fair. Yeah.
My favourite, I think, I really enjoyed Murder at the Vicarage. I think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I thought, and also Hunger Games, to be honest. Although the book is depressing in itself, I appreciated it a lot now. I've read it. Oh, no, see, now I'm looking at down the list. I'm like, yeah, but I really like Jeeves and Wooster. We just had so many bangers.
Yeah, we had
too many bangers.
It's been a season full of, like, potential favourites.
Yeah, we're not really doing our jobs if we're reading things that we don't like. Like, it's going to happen occasionally, but, like, the whole point of this thing was for us to have a good time.
Exactly.
So it's a sign of a good series that we don't have any, like, we don't have many clangers on here.
Yeah.
That said, I'm not sure I will ever reread Jekyll and Hyde. Just coming out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I probably will, just because it's one of those things that you come back to every now and again. Like how I keep coming back to Frankenstein every now and again, or Dracula.
I think I remember it because I read it years ago, and I think I remember it with fondness because I read it right after I tried to read Dorian Gray, which I did not get on with.
Dorian Gray's hard, yeah.
I love Wilde's plays, and then I tried to read Dorian Gray, and I was just this is bad. So then compared to that, Jekyll and Hyde is like a breath of fresh air.
I heard a vicious rumour, and I don't know how. This is one of those things, you read it on the internet and you go, sure, I'll incorporate that into my belief system, and then later you realise maybe I should have fact checked this. But I heard a vicious rumour that the version that is the most in print is not the original version.
Very possible.
And that there was like a really massive edit/rewrite done by one of the later publishers or editors.
Oh no, he got
that.
censored. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's true. Readers, listeners, write in and tell us. I'm gonna have to Google it.
That does ring the bell. Yeah. That does ring the bell.
Yeah, I'll have to Google that afterwards and see what comes up. But yeah, I was surprised with Jekyll and Hyde because I like a lot of Victorian stuff. There was a lot of stuff about the language that I really enjoyed. I just think it didn't land for me because I knew the twist.
Yeah.
Which isn't always the case, but I really feel like it was missing the tension didn't work. The way that you kept a guy is telling you a story and then he meets a guy and that guy takes you further back in time and tells you another story, and then that building up of tension, if you already know what's going on, I don't know. It like I said, it didn't land. It didn't land for me.
Yeah, it doesn't do dramatic irony well. Yeah, because I think the thing about books with a twist in them is that you've got to write two books, right? One is the book that the person reads for the first time, and then the second time round it has to rely not on shock but on dramatic irony.
And if you think, I mean, I've read Dracula a lot of times now. I don't know that it relies on twists necessarily, but it relies on tension. And I still fucking love Dracula. Like, every time I reread Dracula, I'm like, it's my boy Johnny H. And it's, I mean, I do think that the Transylvania stuff doesn't land as well because that's the stuff that's been parodied to death. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the Jekyll and Hyde has been parodied so extensively that it's hard to, like reading Castle of Otranto and feeling like, wow, this is very unoriginal and a very clumsy pastiche of things that I've read before. And it's like, no, this is the original.
We did Macbeth this season, and that's had very similar things where it's it's sort of got its own literary tradition of parodies and things like that.
And I think when it becomes a parody, to your point with Dracula, when we read that, and you're going through the spooky castle and there's wolves and it's all of this stuff that has become synonymous with horror and horror in the sense of that kind of setting. Similarly with Frankenstein as well. And I think likewise with Jekyll and Hyde actually, because it's so much in popular culture that you lose the nuance of it. And to be honest, actually, if I come to think of it, I think that's what's happened to an extent with Austen, because when now having read all of her books, when we started this podcast, I'd only read Pride and Prejudice. I thought it was a romance story, and actually now when you go back and reread it, having read all the other books,
it's social commentary.
You pick up on the social commentary a lot more because I think it is more in not the forefront, but you can sort of just blink yourself and ignore it to a degree in Pride and Prejudice, apart from when Lady Catherine de Bourgh and Lizzie have that sort of are you a gentleman? You're not. I'm a gentleman's daughter. Bit there's whereas in Emma, like the class distinction is really in the forefront. In Mansfield Park, it's right in the forefront. In Northanger Abbey, it's also really humorous, and I think actually like with actually all of Austen's is the fact that normally like the person who's the vicar is slightly having the fun taken out of them or something like that. Like you just don't pick up on that. Like in Pride and Prejudice, if you just take it on its own, it doesn't really. You can completely misinterpret what it's trying to do as a novel and what it's trying to say, and likewise, actually, probably with the Brontes as well. Now we've done one of each of the sisters. Like I know there's
the
an
dark
adaptation.
academia gothic romance girlies have gotten hold of them, and it's
like the new adaptation of Wuthering Heights. Like I'll never watch it because I've seen the costumes, and I'm like, you haven't got the point of the book. Like you've missed the point of the book. You've taken one tiny bit and taken it out, and so that's.
Yeah, I think that's it. To a certain extent, it's not that you've lost the context of the other books, although that's part of it in the time period. It's that you have this added context of everything that came after and was inspired by it, but very much became like, particularly with Jane Austen, like twee little romance books most of the time. And not to say that there aren't some great books in that kind of genre that have followed, but there's a lot, and your kind of idea of them, especially if you haven't read them, is just, oh, they're all romance. And
well, whenever we read period stuff, right, unless you're like literally a historian, and it's sort of the ways that we try to analyze stuff here by like actually looking at historical context is moving towards that, but we're always reading it through the lens of our modern sensibilities and how we naturally think about society and societal structures. Which means that we're not primed to recognise that social commentary when it is there in a way that readers in the 1830s would have.
And we are primed by our like pop culture experience of the. It was reminding me a bit of the way people talk about epic fantasy post Tolkien and how
it's like Mount Fuji.
A lot of people. Well, absolutely, and the whole. There's a lot of people who like it and they take it as a setting and as set dressing, but they
leave the grief behind.
Yeah, they haven't necessarily understood why it works. Like the whole kind of, this is a not quite post-apocalyptic, but the world is ending. This is the end. This is the last flowering of like the elder people before and so much has been lost and so many people have died. I actually think that was a thing that the Wheel of Time series has been doing very well. Like the TV show really gave me that sense of depth and the kind of like, all of this has happened before, all of this will happen again-ness of it, And that said, particularly in the most recent season, like the flashback episode was like really, really strong, which I appreciated immensely.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the other part of this question. I think my favourites were probably Harrow, just because something that does stand up to rereading.
Yes.
Murderbot, a very fun,
it.
light read, really. And I also really liked The Hunger Games, going back and rereading that recently while you guys were doing it. I think that stood up quite well, for stuff that I read as YA when I was in the age bracket for YA, it's actually pretty solid.
I was pleasantly surprised by how well that had held up, because I think that's another one actually that kind of spawned a lot of copycats. What didn't quite get it,
books,
Divergent,
ones that were like that kind of got into the everybody belongs to a category, and and like hadn't really and this is bad for reasons, and hadn't quite gotten the like, hey, it's all the child murder that we're mad about, actually. Yeah. The structural dependence on child murder.
And like, again, it's like, and the commentary on it. And I think, actually, to be honest, like Hunger Games, it did surprise me. I think that's the question. Which is a book, if you haven't read it before, that surprised you? Because for me, that would be Hunger Games, because I was expecting some just like young adult, Twilight-esque book. Not to trash Twilight or anything, but it is very much an adult, angsty teenage child. And I think The Hunger Games that surprised me.
I think Murder at the Vicarage was the one that surprised me the most. I guess I didn't expect to like the main character as much as I did. I didn't expect to be so charmed by it.
Yes.
Yeah, which is funny because like I love Poirot, and I love that sort of whole genre, like cozy mysteries and whatever. I think for me, my favourite that we've done. I mean, there's as stated, it's a rich selection. Honestly, Macbeth. Actually, I don't know. I just keep coming back to it and be like, I don't know. I really like going and look. I like Shakespeare. I like going and sort of doing closer readings of that kind of thing and looking at, stuff that about which like much ink has been spilled. I'm not having any original thoughts here, but it's fun watching, like, seeing how things like that have impacted writing, throughout history since, and especially having done it right after Weird Sisters, because obviously Pratchett.
Yes. That was a good time.
And Harrow is right up there as well, obviously, because the Locked Tomb trilogy series is obviously incredible.
I think we should keep calling it a trilogy, no matter how many books she writes. Sorry,
no, I think there's already quite famously what is it? Hitchhiker's Guide. That's a trilogy.
It's
of
trilogy of five. Yeah.
I was going to say on the sort of Shakespeare thing and diving into stuff, there's something that breaks your brain when you realise that all of those quotes that everyone's like, oh, Shakespeare came up with this, all of these sort of famous aphorisms, and you realise that 90% of them are from a waffling speech by
oh my gosh, greatness thrust upon you from Malvolio in Twelfth Night.
Well, no, it's Polonius and
Polonius.
Hamlet.
Oh yeah,
the whole thing is that he's waffling on and not saying anything.
To thine own self be true.
And that is what Bakar has become into social distance. That is what's like dripped our way through into everyday
not
language.
Exclusively. Like some of the stuff he intended as bangers also has ascended.
Yeah,
right?
but there's so much of it that was intended as waffle, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. What blows my mind is that so many of these things that are like, enormous cultural references and things, it's like some guy just wrote that. Like one guy just did all that. It's amazing.
YOLO.
Yeah.
I always think it's funny, like, thinking about, like, who made it and who didn't. Because I was listening to, I think it was an episode of In Our Time, that they've got like 3 or 4 different Shakespeare episodes. But I was listening to one of them and they were talking about how, like, Shakespeare wasn't popular, or like Shakespeare's sonnets didn't really go anywhere, about people that we think of as being really famous being rediscovered by like the Victorians or in the 18 or the 1700s, and you think these things have like had this unbroken. I mean, I'm always really surprised by like nobody had actually read Sir Gawain and the Green Knight until basically since it got written down and then it ended up in the Cotton Library and then just nobody read it. Like, it hasn't made any, nobody references it in any other romances. But that's such an iconic Arthurian story to us.
Yeah.
The beheading game is such a big thing.
Never give up.
But that just didn't go anywhere for hundreds of years. And now it's like, I was... So speaking of not giving up, this also, the Shakespeare thing did give me hope, because I have been writing a thing that's set in space in like 100, 200 years time. And occasionally my characters will end up speaking in meme. And I'm like, the meme will not have made it 200 years. The meme will not have made it 200 years. But then To Thine Own Self Be True has made it 500 years.
I mean,
so,
you say that
clearly,
in is it Gideon the Ninth? Where
No, it's
like
in Harrow.
Numpties. It's Harrow with the None Pizza Left Beef meme. And I'm like, how do you explain to that as someone who wasn't on Tumblr in like the mid to late
It's just such a beautiful bit of world building, because if you hadn't yet twigged that this is our world, right, or this is our universe, and that this story is actually situated within it in a way that ties to our day to day, it just casually just tells you that. And
that Jod was there.
Yeah, the thing that really
Jod was there.
The thing that really throws me is it establishes Jod very specifically as our generation, and it's like, this is the dickhead you went to university with.
Yeah, which is just like, it's the mortifying ordeal of being known, right? It's like, oh god, he's one of us.
But somebody who was on Tumblr at that specific time frame, like, or just on the internet, like, why is there not, Charlie bit my finger?
The wave
like,
of
Charlie
fuckle that rolled over me when I read that for the first time, and I was like, oh no. oh god, he's our fault.
Oh dear. Guys, I want to know. So, who's your favourite fictional character we've met from a book this series? And if you had to give that person a book from this series to read, what would it be, and why?
I mean, so
the psychological damage you could do by giving
my
Murderbot
God.
a closed and common orbit.
yeah.
I don't want to do this to them.
I'm just thinking about
But
like so
also-
there's characters that we haven't met. So like Sherlock Holmes, we did this season, right? Do we count that as having
Yeah.
met him? Okay. Anyone's been in? Okay.
Oh yeah, anybody that's been in a book that we did this series. Yeah. Would Sherlock Holmes enjoy Harrow the Ninth? This is kind of like that if we drop Sherlock on the Mithraeum, would he solve the problem? But like, would he enjoy Harrow the Ninth?
I feel like it's cruel to give people Harrow having not given them Gideon. Do they get the whole
Give
series?
them
That is a
all.
good
Give
point.
all the books in a bundle. That's what I'd say. Give them all in a bundle. I think for chaos reasons, give Bertie Wooster and force him to read Jane Eyre. Or Hunger Games.
Technically, oh yeah, I was
he
going to say,
has
technically
access.
he could have read Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't think it's likely, but he might
It's an
have.
interesting one because of if I give someone something that's too far into their future, are they going to get it? But if I give someone something that's too far into their past, they might. It's not fun because they might actually have read it.
Oh, I know. You know the witches who are like prophetic in Macbeth. Give
Well,
them
are they?
Yes.
Yeah, but
I do think watching any Macbeth character read Weird Sisters would be like the face
give
journey
Shakespeare.
would be exquisite.
Shakespeare gets Weird Sisters and be like, "You don't understand. This is great," and I think he'd appreciate
yeah,
it.
it would be like that scene in that one Doctor Who episode where they take Van Gogh to the museum.
Oh.
Oh
Yes,
my god, that
yeah.
episode broke me. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah. Just sobbing.
all the
Yeah.
feels.
I
All the
think
feels.
Murderbot having again, and I wasn't on the Murderbot episode because I didn't have time to read it because my life was insane and still is insane. But I feel like Murderbot might enjoy Harry the Ninth.
I would agree. I think
Yeah.
Murderbot would enjoy. I think, and also
I tell you
close
what,
the
I feel
common
like-
orbit.
I feel like Murderbot would be reading Harrow the Ninth and just be constantly being like, well, if they had a competent security expert, why do they keep trusting skeletons when they're a perfectly good bot human construct with concealed weapons in their arms? What's the deal? What's the deal with all of this?
You know what? Actually, no. Murderbot would like Jeeves and Wooster. Jeeves and Wooster and Cozy Country Murder Mystery, aka Agatha Christie.
It's true. I feel like it's like both. It's got the thing of being popular fiction and being like something that's very removed from its day-to-day life in a way that's like chill and entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to watch Murderbot read stuff. I want to be arsehole research transport in the feed, watching over their shoulder as they interact with media and being like, "Oh, what did you think? What did you think?" I want to read all your Kindle annotations.
In terms of best and worst, I would say which book character we've met this series would make the best cat owner and which would be the worst cat owner or cat parent.
I mean, Lawrence canonically
Is
has
great.
a ginormous
Yeah.
cat who is very happy.
Yes,
That is true. He gets best by default. Okay, second best. Who's second best?
I don't know. Is it in a modern day context? If you took your cat to war, you would be cancelled so fast.
If your cat was like hundreds of pounds heavy,
Yeah, I don't know. If my cat was the size of a house,
yeah,
maybe.
is
yeah.
riding your cat into battle then?
I mean,
kind
it's
of epic?
but by that point, it's basically Pokemon. So
I'm now picturing the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro.
yeah.
Like,
not an Arcanine. That's,
I'll tell you what, who I think would be a good cat owner, the vicar from Murder at the Vicarage. I think he'd be a good cat owner.
yeah, I could see that.
Are we talking specifically about protagonists, or can it be any character?
No, any character I feel is a fair and valid shout.
I feel, I mean, I want to say Jod would be a terrible cat owner because I feel like he
Yes.
would just be so laissez-faire with the cat's like welfare because he'd be, I'll just bring it back, it's fine.
I'll just resurrect
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Um,
I don't think nobody on the Mithraeum should be put in charge of other.
No,
Right.
yeah,
No.
none of that.
I think that's a line in the sand. That's a hard line. They can have. I wouldn't even trust them with a pet rock, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure I'd trust them with a plastic pot plant. Like,
Katniss Everdeen canonically does
Yeah.
stuff her pet cat into a bag. To
it's her
get it.
sister's cat.
Yes, but it's like the family cat is
That is
stuffed
true.
into a bag to rescue it from, admittedly, like a desolated town. But
I think Peter would be a good cat dad.
I can see that.
yeah.
And Citra technically does have pets
Yes.
by the end of Close to
By the
Common
end of
Orbit.
it, yes. But
Yeah.
they're not actually autonomous, which I think is quite.
No, that's true. That does make there is nothing. If you could say nothing else about cats,
Yes.
they are the definition of autonomous.
Although I do think Sidra would like having another thing to keep an eye on all the time. To, like just track, keep
Yeah.
his wear out. So would be a bit of a helicopter parent to a cat, but
Yeah,
you know.
quite possibly. Yeah, I could see that.
Ro, a specific question for you. Was there a favourite episode to edit?
This season or in general?
Let's go both, in this season and in general.
Yeah, because I think in general I enjoy the ones, because I don't mind spoilers too much, so it's kind of interesting for me to hear you talk about something I know nothing about, and then that's how I get recommendations. So like sort of looking back, like I hadn't read any Temeraire or Lock Tomb or Long Way to the Small Angry Planet like until after we recorded those
cool.
episodes. So
I hadn't
those-
realised that.
Yeah, no. So that was fun. So I enjoyed those. Then getting to do Close and Common Orbit and Harrow the Night, having like then caught up was quite fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I want to know if only one book in this series could get the F-bomb. There's one F-bomb to go around the entire series.
Oh,
Which book gets to say the fuck word?
I mean, I'm immediately thinking it's Harrow, right? But I'm pretty sure she does swear. I don't know, actually.
I think.
Are we taking it away from everybody
Ooh.
else? That's the other question.
I think
Is
Granny
Murderbot suddenly
Weatherwax.
getting bleeped?
I think Granny
yeah.
Weatherwax gets it
Okay. Yeah,
while
yeah.
she's watching the play.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Just
good.
in a really quiet moment, she stubs her toe and goes, ah.
Well, because it's Pratchett, it's a line of dashes, isn't it? It's like effortlessly
Yeah, so
pronouncing a
she's
line
like-
of dashes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What's the in hate?
Well,
in wizards,
maybe don't
then
do
you
that
shouldn't
Do you think Jeeves should get to say fuck?
I do think there's got to be a way that you could comedically place it that would be absolutely hysterical. But I don't know that there's any person alive that I trust with that power. You know,
That is.
like the impact.
What, to give Jeeves the fuck word?
Yeah, it's too powerful. He'd become too
Yeah.
powerful.
I think we're going to have to settle for the imagining it in our heads
Yeah.
and never being able to articulate the perfect Jeeves
Yeah.
fuck word usage.
Yeah. I do think it would be funniest if we're counting Christmas episode. I think giving the children from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe the F-bomb would be
is true.
exquisitely funny.
Yeah.
But one of the talking animals says "fuck" at one point, and everybody's like,
And I like the idea that
thought
like
this was
Lucy
a
just
Disney
picks it
movie.
up.
You know what? I think it should be Mrs. Beaver when they have to like pack all this stuff up out of their little home and
Yeah.
like go on track. Oh, for fuck's sake!
In that vein, how would Lawrence deal with Temeraire dropping the F-bomb on him?
He's doing the. You know that cartoon that's like somebody covering the person's ears and then
Yeah.
like going and dragging them out the room, and he's doing that with a 10-ton dragon. He's like, the core aren't allowed to duel, but he'll find whoever taught Temeraire the fuck word, and he will duel
How
them.
dare you use potty language?
I think it would be dependent on context. It's like, does he secretly agree with what Temeraire's just said?
Yes, that's true. If he said "fuck the Admiralty" at a particular point, and Lawrence rather agreed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which book best embodies mansplain, manipulate, or male wife?
I'm gonna go Macbeth. Shooting from the hip there, but like there's a lot of it, right?
For all of them, or
Well, I mean,
he's definitely male wife. Is he male wife? He's like murder male wife.
Yeah, I
there's
mean, I
definitely
think Macbeth
manipulate in
would
there.
fit all of them.
I'm gonna say that Harrow the Ninth wins mansplain though, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
yeah,
just
Jod
thinking
is
that
the
too.
king of this.
I would say
This is- yeah.
Murder at the Vicarage for male wife.
manipulate.
Yes.
I would say Hunger Games because just knows manipulating everyone.
Yeah, I could see that. I think Rochester at the end of Jane Eyre is sufficiently male wife that Jane Eyre's in with a shot.
That's
at
a
that
good
one.
shout.
I think Jane Eyre could be the trifecta. Actually, I feel like
You know
there's
what? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a book with Victorian men in it, therefore some mansplaining has, by default, occurred. Is it manipulative to hide your first wife in the attic and lie about
He's
it?
not doing it to be manipulative. He's just
No.
it's like that comedy. It's like that, not comedy of errors, but like you make a decision that's the best decision at that time, and then you make the next best decision, and then you've got your mad wife locked up in the attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
And you're
like,
in love
how
with
did
the
I get
governess.
here?
Like, yeah, record scratch, and it's like every single decision was like sort of reasonable. You know,
Yeah, and then you're like, no,
with
hold
a
on.
lot of hand
Hold on.
waving.
The thing we should actually call an Oedipus complex instead of the thing that we call an Oedipus complex.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if just asking somebody to marry you when you're not legally allowed to, and then not telling them that you're not legally. I think that's just lying.
That
So-
does seem to just be lying.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
strong
so it's
for
two
mansplaining
out of
main
3 ain't
wife,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but manipulate. We've got Macbeth for that as well.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we certainly we're well
It's a
supplied.
very strong contender on manipulate, definitely.
I want to know. So I guess two questions. They're kind of similar. So this question is: in the next series, a book you would like to propose that is a sequel or part of the series from a book we've read, this series or previous series, and then another book which is not part of a series on its own. What would you propose?
Brand new one. Well, I did just reread Artificial Condition, which is the second Murderbot, and words cannot express. It's Murderbot's first friend, and it's an asshole. It's a horrible space bus that does data analysis, and I love it. Yes, Artificial Condition. Yes. For sequels, I don't know so much about new.
For sequels,
think
like
about that.
I've got two because I'd like to get everybody's opinions on the rest of the Hunger Games books, but because they're making the film of Sunrise on the Reaping, I would love to do that, and then because the film will be coming out like at a similar time. And
Does it require having read the previous, like at least the trilogy?
not really. I don't think.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you,
I'm sure there'll be
if
like
you've
Easter
watched
eggs
the
that you
films,
miss.
Like, to be honest, I think this is another credit to like the film adaptations of those books, and it's one of the reasons why I probably will like to watch the film. Is because the films, I think, did actually capture most of the main beats of the book. There are obviously bits that cut out. But on the flip side, that book has basically meant I literally, you know, like that meme of the guy from Narcos who's like sitting on a swing and he's like staring into the middle distance. That because the book is so sad. I'm like, what do I do with myself? And I don't want to bring sadness to the podcast, but like, I mean, it's a really good book, but my God, feelings.
And we did also read Jane Eyre, so like we do occasionally bring the sad to this podcast. It is a thing that happens.
I would love to get everybody's opinions on that. I think well, to be honest, I mean it's not really a sequel, but I mean Dumore Pratchett. I always love a good Brit Pratchett, mainly because this podcast has introduced me to the joys of Discworld. And there was another one I was thinking of. I was like, what was the one I was thinking of? I'd like to do some of... Is it? No, the lady who wrote the Bronte sisters' autobiography and had to like sort of is it Elizabeth Gaskell, I think, wrote her autobiography when she passed away.
Yeah.
Like, but just because it's the same time period, so I'd like to read something in the same time period.
And Elizabeth Gaskell's a very good writer. I didn't get very far with they collected the stories that went into Cranford, the TV show, and I watched Cranford, the TV show, and enjoyed it very much. But what I read of the book, I really, really enjoyed. And she seems like somebody who was good at being like, I'm not going to shy away from, it's not pretty. She's not so interested in pretty. She's interested in poor people, and she's interested in things being difficult. So I think it'd be quite an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
I think I've read a biography of Anne Bronte before that I enjoyed very much, but I don't, and that does cover like her relationships with the rest of the family, but it would be interesting to, get a fuller and as you say, contemporary perspective.
Yeah, I just think it'd be quite interesting to read some authors who are like similar time period to either Bronte or Austen, but aren't as well known. I think that would be quite an interesting contrast. I mean, I'm trying to think.
Well, it'd be interesting. It would be interesting to see if we get that thing. If it's not stuff that's been as absorbed into popular culture, it would be interesting to see what difference that makes. If there's a lot of stuff that's as good that's talking about similar things, but it hits different because it's not the stuff that's been adapted to death or whatever. And we haven't really done any like long form Dickens, have we? I feel like we could. I could stomach doing Great Expectations again. I quite like Great Expectations.
I think I tell you what. Actually, now having finished the book, because I finished it, I think over many sessions of doing my garden. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell.
We wanted to do that ages ago, and then it was too long, and we gave up.
Because we wanted to do that, and I was like, I didn't enjoy the book, and it's so long. It took me ages to get through. And another one, I
love it though. Or we could do Piranesi if we wanted to do some Susanna Clarke, and you wanted the shorter one.
We could, is
very, very good. It's like, hello, what if you were a guy who couldn't remember anything, and you were stuck in a seemingly endless house that's full of that's just made of marble statues, and occasionally the sea just comes in and steals all your stuff.
Oh, that sounds like I'm going to have dreams about that.
It's really good.
You sound dreamlike.
I tell you what,
I think my pick for something new, because obviously we've got so many sequels that we could do, Nona, The Ninth, and things like that. But my pick might actually be something like Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, which I'd need to reread it to see where it falls on the horror scale. But it's really weird and interesting, and it's about meaning, and I really, really like it. It's like peak weird horror.
I've got to say, it's one of the things that's been sitting on my list for a while. I know that there's going to be some stuff in here that I'm going to be like, holy shit, dude. But also, it's like I'm not always great at horror. So there's
I own them in physical books. So if you want to read them, we have them.
Give it a go.
And there's a new one that just came out, I think. So there were 3 and there's now 4, but I've got the first 3.
In a similar-ish vein, but a bit more sci-fi than horror, like Ted Chiang stuff, if that's how you pronounce his surname.
Maybe.
Lots of it is like very short, but I think there's so much in there that we could probably talk for an episode around some of it. It would be.
I think my spouse just read a bunch of his work, so.
Yeah, no, one of our other housemates is very into Ted Chiang short stories. And I have a collection somewhere that I've not read, which is very embarrassing, and I should. I kind of want. The trouble is, I want to sucker everybody in the whole universe into reading Hands of the Emperor, so I finally have people in real life to yell about it with. I've been doing some Tumblr mutual yelling, and that has been very good for me, but the thing is, it's so big and there isn't an audio book. I can't in good conscience.
Yeah.
It weighs more than I do, I think. It genuinely, and the text is so small. But I love it so much.
I
love it so much.
Propose? I've just thought of 2 others. Because I was thinking I'm just going through my Audible. So firstly, Jurassic Park.
Oh shit! Yes,
Ooh,
we really should do
because it's just an absolute. Also, the fact that there's so much maths in it, which just makes nerd be happy.
Well, I was thinking about suggesting The Martian because it's got the hard science in it.
Yeah, it's adaptation. And then my other thought was Lord of the Flies. Like, I'd love.
We should do that. That's GCSE material.
I would love to do some more like air quotes serious books and then slightly take the Mickey, with it. Like, I don't think we could do 1984. I think that's too close to the bone. I mean, maybe we should do it because it is close to the bone.
Is that episode going to be allowed to air in the UK though?
Yeah,
or the US?
Yeah. Will the children have to scan their faces into? Hey, fuck the Online Safety Act. You heard it here first.
We're recording this in August, by the way. August 25.
This is dropping quite soon after we record. We've got to the end of the series. The editing time is reducing and reducing.
Oh, cool. So we're still topical then.
Well, it's fine. If you'd like to listen to us discuss any of 1984 or Animal Farm or any similar other topics which are close to the bone,
download a VPN.
VPN.
Take the first image for UK driving license you can find off of Google and give it to the website that's asking for your age.
Or if you already have Death Stranding.
What a time to be alive.
So please email us and tell us which of the books we should do.
I feel targeted. I was ID'd for wine the other week. This is like...
I got ID'd for wine, and I think the person who was IDing me was like 20, and I was like, brother, I was being traumatized by the internet before you were born. Give me the wine.
I don't get ID'd anymore. It used to be that I got ID'd for everything. I got ID'd for paracetamol. Age 22 or something. They're like, oh, that's dangerous stuff to give a 14-year-old or whatever the fuck.
I got ID'd for a pizza wheel.
The thing is, it's not also
in IKEA.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, do you know what I got ID'd for?
We need to see some ID. I'm like, for a pizza wheel, I just want to cut pizza.
What was it? Oh, it was no more. It was like no more nails. It was like that adhesive stuff. I got ID'd for that in B&M, and that was very much a I'm sorry, we need to ID everyone for this kind of situation. I think basically, but I was just like I'm getting no more nails.
Why are they afraid that you're gonna
huff it? I think
I don't know.
glue.
Frank.
I don't know how. To be honest,
my mind immediately went to like shenanigans and tomfoolery, and not like. Which like more power to you if you're gonna.
I don't fully understand how you would.
I'm just imagining like you're huffing it and it's just like it glues up your nostrils.
Yeah.
Like what?
Anyway.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah. At least they've stopped thinking that our other housemate is my dad. That does seem to have. That seems to have dropped off now.
I still every now and then remember the time that an estate agent thought that he and I were married, and I was like, okay, interesting. You could not have less of a married energy about us.
But anyway, letting the computers decide everyone's age is definitely sensible and a reasonable approach to online safety.
Absolutely.
And I can foresee no problems.
I have no complaints with the current government at all.
No problems at all.
We are God-fearing citizens who love ID and
my third eye is taped shut, and I love capitalism.
We love government surveillance in this house.
We salute the king every day.
Oh God! Should we talk about books?
Can we talk about books? Do we need to give our ID for book talking?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, sure.
What else have you guys been reading? That is a traditional question. Let us wrap up with.
I've been listening to The House on the Silurian Sea. To bring us to something very cute and adorable and also slightly stressful in the background. But yeah, no, I am just in the kind of because it's basically a love story. It's, city guy goes out to the country and meets the country person who teaches him, how to love. But we're in the part where he's gone back to the city and he hasn't yet made the dramatic return to the countryside to live his best life with his new husband and his 6 or 7 adopted children. But I know it's coming. I can feel it coming. So
you're right. It's really painful. It's a really painful bit of the book. Even though it's going to be all right, you're just sat there like, yeah. It's such a good book. I love it so much.
And I've just started More Than This, which is a kind of a young adult-ish book that's been sitting on my bookcase for years and years. It's kind of about someone who dies and goes into the afterlife, and then he's kind of experiencing weird memories. I'm about 2-3 chapters into it. It's really engrossing so far, but I cannot tell what's going to happen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
This is the thing I have noticed when picking up, like, fiction sans genre or literary fiction, is that I'm often, like, you know, I often find it very engrossing and interesting, but I do find it a lot harder to be like, I don't know, there is a bit of me that's always like, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here. Where's the spaceship? What's the... No, that's very flippant, but you know how it is with the genre that you're very familiar with.
No, yeah.
You pick it up and you kind of like, I kind of know what's up here. But like a lot of the time we just
that's what
fiction,
tropes are for,
yeah.
right? Is it's they're sort of they're shorthand, and then you can have fun with them by subverting them or doing them in different
definitely
ways.
coming off of House on the Silurian Sea, which is great and like a lovely, fun, queer book, but that's kind of and the extra layer on a collection of tropes, and I'm like, oh, this is why people like tropey novels, because you know.
I mean, that one's exquisite, like really, really well executed.
Very well done as well, yeah.
Like,
and throws together a lot of fun tropes as well. It's not just like paint by numbers.
yeah,
basic
not just
love
the
story.
angsty stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a very strange mix. I finished. Oh yeah, did I recommend Insomniac City already? If I haven't recommended Insomniac City already, I just finished it. It's by Bill Hayes, and it's about. So this was a guy who was Oliver Sacks's partner just before he died. So it starts with his previous partner dying, and then he moves to New York, and it's kind of about him meeting New Yorkers and taking photographs and meeting Oliver Sacks and falling in love with Oliver Sacks. And it's a really beautiful. I had to like stop and write down so many things from this book because it just kept hitting, you know? I was like, I need to remember this. I need to like inscribe this on my heart. And I cried about 4 times. So not if you want a cheerful read, but if you want a like something beautiful that makes you go, oh yeah, people, this is it's worth living in the world sort of thing. I don't know. It's very good. I enjoyed it immensely. And then on the other side, I was reading Medieval Thought from St. Augustine to Occam by Gordon Leff, which, you know, if you want to have thoughts about Neoplatonism, this is where we're at. I'm pondering the nature of the soul with my chicken tikka masala pie at the moment. It's great. Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. How did we get here? What is this place?
I mean, I literally haven't read anything since finishing Sunrise on the Reaping. I went through this period of like, I loved the book. It was such a good book that, you know, when you just get this lull after a book and you just want to read the book again, but you just know you don't want to read the book again, you'll just be depressed. That's kind of the vibe I got from it. And I was like, oh, but I don't want to. So I've been sitting in this lull. And I think I've just been looking at my Audible. I'm like, okay, I think we're going to have to get back on the Discworld train.
Yes.
Get some more.
And that's a good balance to a depressing book.
Because it's not like, you know, it's a lot of the Discworld books aren't just sort of toxic positivity of like nothing's ever terrible or whatever, but they're also so hopeful.
Yeah.
So I think I'll do that. And I think I might do... Probably some more Miss Marple, actually. I just found
that's another good comfort
audiobooks
read.
have been so good for like my really long runs that it just makes me zone out. So, and I actually stay at the right running pace. So I need to find some more audiobooks. So, I think I'll do that, and then I might I need to probably actually read some physical. Like get back into physical reading with my eyes. I've been trying to get through Cloud Atlas because I do enjoy that book, but I sort of pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down.
I never finished it. I picked it up while I think I was in France, weirdly, and I picked it up in somebody else's house and I read a few chapters and was like, oh man, this is really cool. And then put it down and forgot about it. And that was about 15 years ago.
I remember when it's one of those books for me, which when I first read it, I remember exactly where I was when I read it. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And the film's also got a beautiful score to it, so which is a win. It's also really nice, it's a really long film as well, but it's a really nice film and it's got a very nice score. It's written by the people who made The Matrix, whose names...
The Wachowskis.
Yep, that's it.
Wachowski sisters,
them. Yeah, the sisters. Yeah, so they made it into a film. Very good film.
Man, I could rewatch Jupiter Ascending.
Oh my god!
I was just thinking that like I haven't been reading anything recently, and like I could really use like a good sort of not comfort read exactly, but like you were saying, Lottie, with Discworld or something, like I might get back into like Lord of the Rings or something.
Yeah.
But I could also go for like a really stupid film we watch.
I tell you what, one thing I was going to say is I think next series I'd love to do like a we can chat if there's an adaptation of a book into a film that. Sort of like we did with the Hobbit, where we had one episode on the book and then the second one we just trashed the film.
I think The Martian would be, a really good fit for that.
I feel The Martian or Jurassic Park.
It's a really interesting adaptation. Yeah.
Mainly because dinosaurs are cool.
Yes,
as everybody knows.
And it sounds
we could
like
talk
there's
about
more
the
of
Jurassic World films as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say it sounds like there's more of a difference between the Jurassic Park book and the I think the Martian film is like a very, very close adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jurassic Park is very different. The old guy is not nice, and he does, spoilers, die.
Oh no.
I know, it's so sad. He dies because of capitalism.
I do enjoy...
It's a critique of capitalism and like how unbridled capitalism is maybe a no, and how billionaires are maybe a no, and maybe billionaires shouldn't be making
and like science
playing God with dinosaurs. And maybe they do that to get their comeuppance.
ChatGPT doesn't have teeth and is never going to eat anyone.
Yeah, basically they're like, oh, these won't breed, and then they do breed, and then they go and eat the guy who founded it, and it's slightly amusing. And the maths guy just speaks about maths.
I was listening to a podcast episode about the evolution of crocodiles, and now I'm sort of like, I kind of want to... And then one of them made a joke about Triassic Park, and I was like, what if they'd brought back the, like, giant crocodiles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because apparently some of them used to, like, walk around on their hind legs and shit. They were like,
crocodilian, like, dinosaur-type things were, like, a whole genre of animal that we just, like, didn't make it into pop culture as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were in charge. They were large and in charge for a while before the dinosaurs took
real
over.
dinosaur heads know. Yeah.
Also, I was going to add, like, the listener
oh, yes,
recommendations
for next series.
We started by saying, let's shout out some recommendations, and then immediately didn't do that.
And it's been 55 minutes, and now we've got there.
Well, yes. But yes, I think, Hattie, who sent this into recommendations for Jasper Ford.
Yeah.
Ford.
I think it's 2 Fs because it's Welsh, I'm assuming.
So we need to read those. Silda, who recommended us A Natural History of Dragons. And Brooke,
which I have read and did enjoy.
Who has recommended us Drop Spindles. So I think...
Oh, because we were talking about spinning wheels and how we couldn't get one in the house.
Yes. No, if I was going to get into spinning, I would do it with spindle, for sure.
So
People keep putting looms on my Tumblr dashboard, and I'm like, I don't have time to learn to weave. I don't have time to learn to weave. I'm not doing it. But also, I kind of want to...
Aphrodite, I cannot weave. I've been overcome with, like, fatigue.
I'm overcome by the avalanche of fibre crafts that I already can't do because I'm too tired.
Stick to the one crafted. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm like trying to stick to finishing knitting the cardigan, and then we can move on to something else. But I did start watching the Great British Sewing Bee as some comfort watching, and I thought, how hard can that be? I can make my own clothes. And I thought, no, Lottie, you don't have
the devil talking.
You don't have a sewing machine.
You've got to watch Bernadette Banner if you want to get into making your own clothes.
I love Bernadette Banner, but like again, you watch yours and say, oh, I could do that, and then I'm like, I don't have the time.
I'm in the thing at the moment where I've got a bunch of projects, like knitting and crochet projects, and there's a scarf I really want to start, and I'm not letting myself until I finish some of my other projects.
I'm going to finish other things first, which is a very good...
I never find that works. That doesn't work on me at all. I just stop doing stuff.
I'm not made for monogamy in so many ways. That is what people call it. They call it being like monogamous with your craft projects. If you only have one on the go at the time, and I don't
can't live like that.
You need multiple on the go. I think I'm just looking at the clock. We probably need to wrap up this episode also the series, which has been so much fun.
One in the can.
enjoyed it as
Yeah.
always. Loved it.
Good job, team.
Love chatting with you guys. And thank you all so much for listening. We really just like love you all, especially every time we see like another download come in. We're like, oh my god, an actual
There's like
human.
a comment, or I know we're bad at answering emails, and I have missed some really nice comments on the Tumblr for which I can only apologise. I have seen them. I appreciate you.
And every time someone shares something on like the social media as well, it makes us so happy. So if you're one of these people, because I'm like, if you think, oh, I enjoyed that, give us a like, give us a little rating. If there's a book you think that we should hear about, that you think we should read, then please send it to us via our website. We've done multiple series now, which is wild when we think about when we started this back in lockdown times. But it's quite cool. But yes, we will sign off for another series. So say hello, send us a message, and recommend us some books to read. Big virtual hugs, and we will see you next time. Bye.